welcome back to my channel. I'm in my bathroom and I'll tell you in just a second why. Isaiah's also in here, so if you hear her talking, he loves the bathroom. He loves the tub. so he's just gonna be playing. Oh my goodness, we'll see if I can get through this. I've been getting a lot of questions about what medications I take to, maybe if I get rid of the echo, he'll stop. I've been getting a lot of questions about what medications I take and how I manage my symptoms with AERD, aspirin exasperated respiratory disease, also called Samter's triad. I didn't know I had this disease, but I've always had it, at least for the last 2015, the last 4 years. At least that's when I had the nasal polyps. So I've been doing some of these for 3 years now. And I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, so we'll start with every morning. Oh my gosh, Isaiah can reach the counter, so I'll have to move these. We'll start with my steroid rinse. I have to do this 2 times a day, morning and night, and it looks like this, making sure I don't show you any of my information. It's called budesonide, and inside the little box are like a bunch of little foil packets, and then on the foil packet, inside the foil packet looks like this. You would have like a whole row of these, but as you can, I've used this, and so I do one of these. You literally, apparently I read the box while I was gathering my stuff for it. Apparently you're supposed to like shake it in here. I never do that, so I guess I'll have to start doing that now. But then you pop off this and then cut off I just rip off the top of this, and then you pour both of these into a bottle like this. You can get this, let me grab my box. I just bought this, and I normally buy this at Costco, but in a box like this, this is the kit, so you get a new bottle, which I need to replace my bottle anyway. You're supposed to replace them, I think it's like every 30 days or something like that. Every so many days you're supposed to replace them. So you get a bottle and you get 50 of these packets. This cost me like 11 bucks. For 20 bucks, you could get a bigger kit with 2 bottles, 250 salt packets, and it also comes with this, which I never use, so I have like 4 of these in my house, like unopened. But I mean, maybe I'll want to use them someday. This would be helpful for anyone who's having nasal polyp removal. This would be helpful for that, especially if you get splints in your nose, if they have to reline your nostrils. This would have been helpful because it kind of hurts to push, because you have to push this in your nose like this, and then you have to squeeze the bottle to get the liquid to like run through your sinuses and out the other nostril. Well, this, you literally could like, you don't even have to stick it, like you don't have to touch your nose at all. You just press it and it like will spray it into your nose. And that would be really nice for people who are going through that. So that's a good tip for some of you who are going to be going through that. But, so I put the 2, I gotta grab them, salt and steroid into the bottle. And then I just use tap water. Isaiah, close the door. I just use tap water. Some people say don't use tap water. I've been using it for like 3 years and I haven't had an issue, so I just use my tap water. And I do like warm water. I like it a little warmer than it probably should be, but you just remember you don't want it too hot because it's going in your sinuses, and people don't always realize how sensitive your sinuses are. So warm water, not cold water unless you want brain freeze. He's gonna start flushing the toilet because he can reach the lever. But yeah, so I do that 2 times a day, every single day. Then I got my inhaler. It's called, I have the box right here because I get them in like a 3-pack. It's called Q-Bar. This is what I call my preventative inhaler. I have to do this 2 times a day as well. I usually do it right after I do my steroid rinse. I guess you don't have to do it right after. I just, for some reason, do it the same way every single day. 2 puffs of this, and then immediately, well, anyone who doesn't know how to use this, and you just got it, you have the little numbers on the back of how many puffs you have left. If you just opened it, you have to prime it. It's where you shake it, and then you spray it until you start seeing the medicine come out. And then you spray it in the middle of an inhale, and you hold that as deep of a breath you can go. Exhale, and then you do it 1 more time. I find with my asthma, because of how bad it is, especially like by the time I'm using this medicine, it's been 12 hours. So usually my asthma is kind of getting a little weaker at that point. So I notice when I do the first puff and I hold and I exhale, I have to give myself a second and then do the second one, because if I do it immediately after, I get lightheaded, like I'm gonna pass out. That's just me, so I don't know if everybody deals with that when you have to use this, but that's what I do. And then immediately after that, I have to rinse my mouth. I just use Listerine because anybody who's not familiar with inhalers, if you use an inhaler and you don't rinse or brush your teeth or wash your mouth or whatever you gotta do, you can get what's called thrush, which is like a bacteria inside your mouth, and then it's a pain and your mouth swells and it's painful. So yeah, rinse your mouth if you have inhalers. That's what I have to do 2 times a day. I've just started a new medicine. I don't really want to show the bottle because it has my information on it, but it's called Singular. I actually have the generic brand, so they're like little square pills. People were telling me, don't want to show the bottle, I'm going to show the bottle. People were telling me that they've had really bad reactions with that, like nightmares. I think it was mostly nightmares. Oh, mental health issues and things like that. I haven't noticed it with that, and I've been on it for like 2 weeks, so maybe I'm just lucky, but that's something to consider with that. But it's supposed to improve asthma symptoms. I haven't noticed an improvement, but even if it didn't, I'm supposed to be on it a week before aspirin desensitization. That's just what I was told. So it's supposed to help limit asthma reactions when you do the aspirin desensitization. But of course, you're still sensitive to it. So it's just supposed to help. We'll see if it does. I'm interested. I kind of hope they do a lung function test because before I started that medication, I did a lung function test at the allergist's, and I passed. I mean, I wasn't like alarming at any rate. Okay, no. They weren't alarmed, but it was lower. It could have been better for sure. So I think that's why he started me on that anyway, but I'm interested if they do one there. I kind of want to know if it's better. Just, I mean, I've been taking it for 2 weeks. It would be nice to know if it's actually helping. But that's that. I also have my rescue inhaler. It's called Ventolin. It's basically a albuterol. I think that Ventolin's just the name brand. I also, which I need to clean it because I would be really sad if I didn't have this in the event of an asthma attack. I have this chamber. Anyone who has asthma and you have a rescue inhaler, you need this. I didn't know about this until like last year after my second reaction with aspirin, not knowing what was causing my extreme asthma attacks. Part of my problem with my first asthma attack was my rescue inhaler. I couldn't get the puffs in. And first of all, I had many problems the first time I had a reaction to aspirin. I had like 5 puffs left on my rescue inhaler and I did not get a refill. I didn't think I needed it because I thought my asthma was controlled, and it very obviously wasn't. Well, of course, I also took aspirin, which caused the asthma attack in the end, but I should have had a refill and I didn't. So when I had the asthma attack, when I tried to use those 5 puffs, which again, you're only supposed to use 2, but when I tried to use them, I couldn't breathe it in because I was already so far in the asthma attack because it had progressed so quickly due to the aspirin. I couldn't even get the medicine in because my breaths were so shallow. There was no way they were actually getting into my lungs. And if it was not enough because of how shallow my breaths were. So this helps immensely. Basically, you, of course, shake your inhaler and then you put it in the little end right here, and then you pop this out. This is the part your mouth goes on, and you spray once. And then those of you who have asthma, you know you can only really take shallow breaths in an asthma attack. You can't really breathe in and hold. So just try your best to breathe in and hold. But no matter what, the medicine stays in here. So if you don't inhale the full puff of medicine, it doesn't just like stick to the roof of your mouth. It stays in the chamber, and so you just keep breathing in and out gradually. And your air that you breathe out comes out of this little hole on the top here, and the medicine still stays in the chamber. So you actually get a full puff of medicine, which is a huge game changer for anyone who's actually had an asthma attack. You know how critical this medicine is. So I highly recommend. It's called an aero chamber, or flow chamber, I don't know. Again, I didn't get this until after my first asthma attack. That's when I was prescribed my first really bad asthma attack that landed me in the hospital because of aspirin. This is what I was given, and it really did change. The second time I took aspirin and I had the same reaction as the first one, this kept my oxygen level normal. I was still having very labored breathing and I had to go to the emergency room and my face was swelling, but this kept my oxygen high. The first time my oxygen was very low, it was in the 80s because I couldn't get air in. This at least kept the medicine in my lungs, so it kept me stable until the paramedics got there. So that is huge if you have bad asthma or have what I have and accidentally ingest ibuprofen or aspirin. So highly, highly recommend this. The other thing that I take, I had a couple people ask me, I mentioned stuff, I got stuff for migraines, and people were like, well, I didn't know you could take medicine for migraines when you have AERD or Sampters, and the truth is you can. It's called sumatriptan, and if you have actual migraines, not just like a little baby headache because you didn't sleep or because you didn't get your coffee, like a real migraine, this will nip it in the butt. The only thing with this medication is you need to take it early. If you feel, I am very lucky when I get my migraines, I can usually tell. Like, I can usually tell before they actually hit because my vision kind of goes out of whack. I get nauseous. I just have other symptoms before the migraine comes. So as long as I take this early and I don't wait, or I make sure it's in my purse so I don't have to wait till I get home, it either stops the migraine or it just like, it keeps it right where it's at for 24 hours and then it like just kind of goes away. Otherwise, I am like sick for 2 days straight and vomiting, and yeah, it's bad. So this is what I take. It does not have any aspirin, ibuprofen. I've never had a reaction while taking this. Of course, if you do get migraines and you do have AERD, maybe ask your doctor to make sure you don't have any other medicine allergies, because I don't know what else is in this. I just know it does not have aspirin or ibuprofen. So that's what I take for migraines. Sumatriptan, 50 milligrams. Works amazing. I also have Isaiah's godmother takes this as well for her migraines, and she needs 100 milligrams because she must have way worse migraines. I don't know, but she needs the 100, otherwise it doesn't work. So this is what works for me, but of course, talk to your doctor. Maybe you can try it out and see if it works. Trying to think, I guess the only thing I take is birth control. That's really all the medicines I've taken and currently take right now. I'm kind of hoping if they do the lung function test at the hospital before the procedure, because they did say they were going to do a couple things before actually starting me on the aspirin, I'll let you guys know if there was an improvement, because I'm curious myself if the Singular actually helped, especially since there was a lot of people saying that the generic brand for Singular, which is Montelukast, I hope I'm saying that right, is the worst one, and that the actual Singular is the better one. And there's another one that I cannot remember the name of it, but that one's supposed to also be really, really good. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let me know if you have any other questions and I'll make a video on it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.